Built on the side of a former piano factory, there's been plenty of music made on the field here in the decade since it opened back in 1998. Welcome, everyone, to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. The holidays have arrived. Thank you for spending a part of them with us. We're away in Week 16 on EA Sports. He'll bring it out from the middle of the end zone. They stop him right as he gets up past the 15. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Wilson, the receiver, in motion left. First play, and Rodgers letting it rip. Complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be brought down along the 25-yard line.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
We give to Johnson on the option. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
You know what I like about a second and short run play, Kate? Yeah, I like getting a first down, but you know what I like even more? That's going to set up a play-action pass in a similar down and distance, and that defense is going to have to key on the run.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Here's Johnson again. And it took a couple of guys to haul him down there after a gain of just 1.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. Into the hands of Pat Freiermuth. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. Give him 13 on that play. And that's a Steelers first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
1st and 10 from the 41.
Inside.
They'll run it for the first time with Jaylen Warren. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
It's Johnson on 2nd down. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
They get about 4 there. Need a little more than that now on 3rd and 6.
Get 300. Get 300.
Looking out of the gun, it's Rodgers. This is reeled in by Wilson. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They pick up 20 yards there. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
They bring Wilson in motion right. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play. Moving quickly, trying to get set again.
Hey, 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26. 26.
And that's nearly intercepted, but couldn't hang on. Just a harmless incompletion. It's third down.
Oh, that was such an opportunity lost. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points on the series. And instead, he just couldn't quite hang on.
Again, Rodgers. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. Fourth down coming up.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. One alligator, two alligator, three alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion. I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. That's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
On the return, here comes Justice Hill. Finds some space. He's past the 30. He'll head out of bounds on the return. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Here's Derrick Henry getting it on the ground. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Oh, he nearly starts the game off with a pick. Just couldn't hang on to it. Good defensive play, though, regardless. That's going to bring up third down.
You know, so often we talk about speed offensively, right? We love receivers that can run. Well, that was a perfect example of how speed kills you defensively. A hurried throw, almost an interception. And that wasn't until after they almost brought him down behind the line for a sack. Speed's the difference.
How about that play, Brock? On 3rd and 14, they find a way to convert.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking.
Back at beginning of the second quarter, Ravens in possession. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. Chased out to his right. He's on the move. And he's going to get it out past the 40 before he goes out.
Well, you don't get the first down, but I'll tell you this, Kate, that drives the defense and the defensive coordinator nuts. They do everything right. They win, and yet still QB makes something out of nothing.
This is Henry on second. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
That's the type of call that offensively, man, it just builds so much confidence. I don't even think they were looking to get the first down. Just get to a manageable third down, but instead they move the chains, and that is one disheartening look on that defense.
Offense already looking like they're in mid-game form. They've got it down to the 32. Going to the ground again on 1st. And he takes it across the 30 before heading out. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
First and 10. Here's Jackson. Oh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Pistol snap to Jackson. Andrews with the catch. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
Third and a lone yard coming up. And he drives this forward to the 6. They get 2 on the play, and now they've got first and goal.
Certainly dropped these quarterback keepers anticipating a whole lot more yardage, but I think it could be overlooked there since they did pick up the first down. If anything, they can see what kept it to a small gain over there on the sidelines, and they'll come back to it on the next set of downs.
4 downs now to get in. Here's first and goal. Lamar out of the pistol. That one's incomplete. Couldn't connect.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after the incomplete pass, here's second and goal. A give right side to Henry. And an opening doesn't materialize. He's caught near the line of scrimmage. Stopped for no gain, and it leaves them 6 yards out on third and goal.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just times you got to run in the darkness. And when linebackers fill that hole like that right in the middle of the field, he ran right into the darkness and the pain of that linebacker.
Jackson has it, third and goal. And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens finish off their opening drive. Zay Flowers, the touchdown. He finds one of his great receivers, Brock, and they are off to a great start to begin this ballgame.
Yeah, it's such a positive offensively when you could go find not just a field goal, but a touchdown on that opening drive. And defensively, this starts to shake the foundation of your preparation and makes you wonder what's in store.
And the 2-point try is good. He reaches the end zone and gives them a 5-point lead.
You know, we tend to say this all the time, and I'll say it yet again, Kate. Big targets in the red zone are an enormous advantage. Not many guys can match up and defend someone like him, and no surprise, they went right to him for the conversion.
The Ravens kicking team is ready, and they're going to send this one away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. They're out and set, first and 10. Drive begins with a run by Johnson. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after looks like a yard gain. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
26. Run up. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Yeah, good.
From the shotgun, Rodgers. And he brings it in, but got too close to the sideline there. They're ruling him out of bounds. We've got third down.
I'll tell you what, you give him another foot of space, and he's going to bring that in for a nice gain. The throw, it just didn't give him enough real estate to establish possession before he hit the sideline.
No connection on the last play, and now it's third down.
Jump out! Take 30!
Throwing with a blitz on the way. It's taken in by Washington. Steelers working with a sense of urgency from the hurry-up clock, continuing to run. First down, Rodgers. Austin's there to haul it in. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs.
Hey, 88.
Here's Rodgers on 1st and 10. Throw came out right as the defense got to him. That's an incomplete pass. No luck finding his receiver that time. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes. And your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time? Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and of course, it's the incompletion.
And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. 3rd and long, Rodgers. Oh, the football's loose. And this is picked up by the Ravens. And they stop him before he gets much on the return.
I get it, Kate. 3rd down, you're doing all you can to try to stay on the field. But unfortunately, poor ball security loosens his hold on it, and the defense knocks it free. Instead of facing 4th down, even better, that defense is off the field completely.
First down, here's Lamar. Escapes the pocket. Now here he goes. Picked up a few as he heads out of bounds.
Well, the QB made something happen and got some yardage when the play didn't develop right, and even got himself out of bounds to avoid a hit. The only negative at all is he couldn't quite get the first down.
Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target.
That's somebody they're going to look for if he has any space deep. That space, though, Kate, just disappeared between when he let that pass go and when he actually made it down the field.
Jackson now on 3rd. Buys time, rolling right. He just throws this one away.
He did exactly what he was supposed to do on that play. Felt the pressure and escapes the pocket. After that, it's on somebody downfield to get open and give him a target. No one did, and he simply has to get rid of it.
And a big hit on the return to stop him cold. That punt finishes as a 60-yard effort. And hardly any time remaining for them in this game. 1st and 10, but only time left for maybe a couple of plays here.
Hey, 626.
Rodgers to throw. Wilson's got it. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Second and 6 coming up here. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. Second and 6 coming up here. They send a tight end in motion. Looking to throw. And that one hits the ground incomplete. A single second left now on the clock. First time this game they've looked to him. And that makes it 3rd down.
Well, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you've got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. One last play before the break. They motion the tight end over. He'll throw it. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up. So we finished 2 quarters. A couple more to come after this short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports after this. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. Now Boswell on to send this away. Hill now to return it. And this drive will start inside the 25. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. The drive begins with Henry. And all he can get is 1 yard. Ran that right into the defensive front.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
He'll get this to Henry. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. Deshaun Elliott with that tackle.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
And he's touchdown after a nice pickup there to get the 1st.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
1st down throw for Jackson. He puts some air under a deep throw to the left. Tries to lob that one up, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Hey, 88. It's Cat 300. Cat 300.
Rodgers here off the play action. He just kept going their own way, and that's going to cost them. That is a safety. That one is not going to get any easier to watch during film study, Brock. Some chances to go down, but instead opting to keep extending the play, and then all of a sudden in the end zone for a safety.
Yeah, ultimately there just comes a time where you've got to understand where you are on the field, right? Hey, I'm trying to make a play. That's all great in the middle of the field. But when you're in the danger zone like this, and you can give that defense 2 points and energize the other side, you got to know where you are on the field and just get rid of the ball.
And this drive is going to have some great starting field position as a result of that short kick. New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. On 1st down, Jackson gets this to Bateman. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Patrick Queen arranging in for the tackle.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Back to throw. Here's Jackson. Got his target. It's Hill. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And that's good for a Ravens 1st down.
Got to be a pretty good actor. Got to be pretty good at selling to that defense. That's a drop back pass. When you get a big play on the screen like that, boy, it's choreography by everybody on that offense.
They give to Henry on the inside handoff. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
Okay, the 2-yard run on first down, I think that keeps you ahead of schedule. You're going to have to pick up the pace.
Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Lamar now from the gun. Breaks free in the center of the field. And he's down inside the red zone before hitting the deck. It's a pickup of 11. And that'll be first down, Baltimore.
First down 10 at the 20-yard line.
Out of the gun, Henry. And that carry only nets one on the plunge up the gut.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. From the gun, Jackson. Finding Flowers. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. That's a gain of 13, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens lengthen the lead at the end of the 3rd. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Ravens gonna give it another go, trying for 2. And he's into the end zone. That play adds a couple more to their lead. Worked so well the first time. Hey, why not go right back to it? See if you can be successful again. They do, and they are.
And I like the way you say that right there, Kate, because you almost feel the confidence, right? Like if you get it the first time, you're almost playing with house money. Even if you fail, it's still 14 points. It's not really a failure. And if you get it, well, you gain even more confidence and make that opponent think that much more.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Rodgers here from the gun. Catch is made down the right sideline. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. They got 24 yards on the play. And that's a Steelers first down. A jolt to start that drive. They're up near the 45-yard line.
26.
To the air here on first down, Rodgers. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done, incomplete. That one vehemently swatted away. So it'll be 2nd down.
The ability to track the ball, right? Ball skills isn't just knocking it away, and that's a beautiful job there, Kate. The ball skills is also being able to track a ball on a deeper throw like that. If he doesn't swat it away, you're looking at a huge gain.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. So they're left facing 3rd and long. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
That's brought in by Miller. And he's taken down to... A new set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Rodgers. That's complete to Wilson. And he's able to get this down to the 36. The rookie from Georgia in on that tackle.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down, well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. On the third and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Oh, he put some heat on this deep ball. Left side. Trying to find his tight end. And that leaves him with third and short.
It is such a weapon offensively when you've got a big tight end that can stretch the field vertically. Not a lot of DBs have the size to cover him. They tried to get it to him in that spot where he could win it, but unfortunately, no connection to be made.
It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. This one intended for the running back. And now they're left with fourth and short.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Desperation time here on fourth. This finds Austin complete. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. Again, Rodgers. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
They send a man in motion. Throwing once again, Rodgers. Cut by Miller. And they get this down to the 10-yard line before going down. Offense in the hurry up here. From the red zone now. Toward the side of the end zone, but that one's incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. So it's second down coming up. Tough to blame him for that drop, Brock. Even if it would have been a touchdown, that was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react, and then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact.
On second down, Warren. And he drives this forward to the 6. Offense up to the line fast. Rodgers throwing on third down. And it doesn't fall into the breadbasket. Incomplete pass. This one misses the tight end. And that makes it fourth down.
Well, you got to have a short memory in the NFL. Incompletions happen. Now you got to make the adjustment and go get the next one.
Third down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on fourth.
Hey, check 26. Get 300. Get 300.
They'll go for it, Rodgers. And it falls incomplete. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.